The Awo with a bad character. Long ago, in a land where sacred teachings guided the lives of its people, there lived an Awo, a priest of Ifa. But this particular Awo was not known for his wisdom or humility. Instead, he was infamous for his prideful and malicious nature. He was stubborn and domineering, always imposing his views on others, and rarely heeding advice, even when it came from the Òrìṣàs themselves. One day, during a divination, the Awo received a warning. He was to offer a sacrifice to Shango, the mighty Òrìṣà of fire and justice. The sacrifice required him to present a ram to prevent a devastating fire from consuming his home. But in his arrogance, the Awo dismissed the warning. He did not believe such a tragedy could happen to him, so he ignored the message and made no offering. Not long after, a violent storm swept through the village. Thunder roared, and a lightning bolt struck directly upon the Awo's house. Flames erupted, consuming his home entirely. When the fire finally died down, all that remained were ashes and a single relic, a sacred object from his altar, the only thing he had managed to save from the destruction. As if the loss of his home was not enough, the Awo soon found himself entangled in a new misfortune. He was accused of wrongdoing and summoned to court to defend himself. Stricken by despair, he turned to divination once more. This time the message was clear and uncompromising. He had to make amends, not just for his actions, but also for his neglect of the Òrìṣà's guidance. The sacrifices required now were greater. 1 rooster, akuko, 4 white doves, ile, fun, 2 white hens, 80, fun, and the very relic he had saved from the fire. Additionally, he was told to honor his Ori, his inner self and destiny. To purify his spirit and his home, he had to bathe in the essence of sacred leaves, wild basil, rose periwinkle, and the miraculous prodigiosa plant. Through these acts of sacrifice and cleansing, he would be able to rebuild his home and restore his prosperity. Humbled by his predicament, the Awo followed the guidance exactly. He offered the sacrifices, cleansed himself with the prescribed herbal baths, and purified his household. Slowly but surely, his fortunes began to turn. He rebuilt his home, and by the time the structure was complete, he had regained much of what he had lost. But fate was not done testing him. Just as his house was finished, a court summons arrived, demanding he face the accusations against him. Nervous but determined, the Awo sought one last consultation with Orúnmìlà, the Òrìṣà of wisdom. This time, the instructions were precise. He was to offer a chicken, osadi, to Esu, the divine messenger, 2 hens, Meyi, to Ifa, and a generous amount of ginger. With the ginger seeds, he was to craft a special necklace. This necklace would act as a shield, protecting him during his trial. Following the instructions, he wore the necklace as he stood before the court. When the trial reached its climax, the Awo took the necklace and placed it at the feet of Isu, symbolically surrendering his pride and fate to divine justice. In the end, the Awo emerged victorious. The trial concluded in his favor and his life was restored to balance. This experience transformed him. No longer driven by pride and malice, the Awo embraced humility and wisdom. From that day forward, he vowed to use his knowledge to guide others toward righteousness, knowing full well the cost of ignoring the divine path. The lesson of the story: this tale of the Awo with a bad character teaches us that arrogance and disregard for spiritual guidance can lead to disaster. However, humility, sacrifice, and a willingness to correct one's mistakes can pave the way for redemption and restoration. Listen carefully to the wisdom of the Òrìṣàs, and never underestimate the power of divine correction.